Hello and welcome back to Core Finance. I'm Matt Brown, joined by Ryan Littlestone, trader and analyst at ForexFlow.live. And we're going to be looking at the pound this morning, taking a bit of a beating as Theresa May sees 40 parliamentarians looking to get a vote of no confidence. So good morning to you, Ryan.
Morning, Matt.
Morning. Let's have a look at this pound. Certainly off the highs that we've seen over the recent month or so. Where now for the pound?
I think for the short term, it's heading back down again. We've had this a lot of weekend news. It wasn't just the 40 MPs. Well, that was a big headline that everyone got. There's Barnier coming out and saying there's going to be a struggle, or the German BDI trade association saying it's going to be a struggle to get deals done. Everything's just whining on Theresa May again. And I wrote about it on Sunday with all these headlines that it's going to be a soft open for the pound, and here we are. We're down 160 odd pips from Friday's high, and whatever it is, just over 100 pips from the Asia Open. So we're in one of these possibly a short-term bearish phase, but it's definitely going to be weighing the pounds at the moment.
And looking at cable, just on the chart here, can we test these 130.30 levels, do you think?
Yeah, I think we've got every chance of doing that. Never say never in this game, but the breaks have come in stages so far today. We had 131, 131.10 as support overnight. That broke. 130.80 was a low last week. We held that for a brief point this morning, and that's broken now. That area's become resistance. 130.60 is now the support. There's a bit of traffic from the early NOV lows, sort of between here and basically 130.40 odd. But then we've got a stronger level, as you say, down towards that 120, 130 area, and that's going to be quite important. If we get a test of that today, that's probably a fairly decent place if you want to try and catch this particular falling knife, because we have had a big move and it has just come on headlines. Rather than anything, actually substantial. A lot of it's conjecture still, but it's been a big fat reminder that the Brexit mess is still here, and anytime it takes a sour turn, this is what we're going to see in the pound. So for the moment, right here and now, as we talk, 130.80 is now resistance, and the support is at 130.60. So you wait to go with a break either side of that.
Good stuff. Well, let's have a look at euro sterling as well. As you've already alluded to, the talks and mentions coming out of Barnier over the weekend. Obviously, Brexit negotiations very much in focus. From a technical point of view, though, how can traders trade the news flow that we're going to see and have seen coming out of these Brexit negotiations?
It's like anything, really. You've just got to go roll with the punches. The pound has not been a trade where you can really take a long-term view with any confidence. I like trading longer term, and I certainly haven't been touching the pound on that basis for, well, probably since the Brexit vote, really, because you never know what headlines are around the corner. 1 minute we're sitting up at 132. A few headlines from the UK press over the weekend, and here we are. As I say, 100, 120, 160 pips lower. So it's very difficult. And the same with euro sterling, because it's linked between Europe and the UK. It's the currency for that. You've got to look at the levels. And that's the best way to trade it. Pick your support levels, pick your resistance levels, pick the ones that are stronger looking, maybe more long term rather than the shorter term ones. And if you're going against these moves, for example, as I say, the pound's bearish at the moment. If you're going against it, you want to try and catch that falling knife, you need to keep your stops very tight. Pick your support levels, 5-10 pip stops at most. And if they break, you're not going to get hurt that much. You're not going to find yourself offside by 30-40 pips and hardly any chance of recovering. And that's the case with euro sterling. We've broken up above the 89 handle. At the moment, I'm looking at it, and that's where support is right now. We're seeing that supported right along that level. And while we hold that support, then we're going to attempt the upside. But again, the levels are fairly close together. The next sort of big level is up at sort of 89, 35, 40-ish. We've got moving averages up there as well. daily moving averages, 55 and 100 day moving average. You know, you need to look at those levels as to trade off, and if those levels hold, then again, you know, you might have a decent opportunity to short there and look for a push lower. But you've got to match it off between where the support is. So again, if you're fighting the trend, keep your stops pretty tight.
And moving away from the pound, what's on your diary this week? Well, what's on your pad? What's jumping out? Where could we see some volatility, and what should traders be looking out for in the week ahead?
Well, we've got another event today, possibly. You know, Theresa May's hosting a load of European business leaders at number 10. So it couldn't have come at a worse point for her, really. She's got the CBI there. She's got the institute directors there. She's got other trade organisations from around Europe, you know, a lot of European countries. So again, we're open to possibly some headline risk. If they all come out from the meeting and say that Theresa May hasn't got a clue, or the government hasn't got a clue how they're going to progress this Brexit thing, then again, we've got another risk headline for the pound, and any negative headlines, and we're going to head lower on that. So, you know, we'd have to go very far this week to get our next risk event.
Well, it does seem to be headline risk is the key phrase, certainly for today and moving into the week. Ryan, thank you very much for joining us here on Core Finance this morning.
Thank you.